Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Valentina Chalala. Icing an engine failure, the apparent cause of a plane crash last month that took the lives of a Huntsville man and his two daughters. The National Transportation Safety Board has released its preliminary report on that deadly crash in Montana. The twin-engine Piper aircraft went down in the Bob Marshall Wilderness on October 17th, killing all 3 people on board. According to the report, the pilot, Mark Anderson, declared an emergency when he was unable to stay in the air after encountering severe icing conditions and reporting an issue with the left engine. Air traffic controllers lost radar contact shortly after. Search and rescue teams located the wreckage and the remains of Mark, Lainey, and Ellie Anderson the next day at an elevation of more than 5,000 feet. The NTSB says the information is preliminary and subject to change as the investigation progresses. A final report could take up to 2 years. The Alabama Public Library Service Board of Directors voted yesterday on a new rule that will restrict books on transgender and gender ideology from the children's section of libraries. The board received pushback at a public hearing last month when the proposal was made.
The shelves of libraries throughout the state are about to change as tons of books are going to be moved or removed entirely. This comes after the Alabama Public Library Service Board, or APLS, voted Thursday to remove books discussing transgender procedures, gender ideology, or the concept of more than 2 biological genders. Advocacy groups throughout the state believe this is an act of censorship and an attack on transgender individuals. Angie Hayden, the co-founder of Read Freely Alabama, says she is concerned as libraries are now going to have to make a tough decision.
Librarians are having to basically choose between following the Constitution or receiving their state funding.
The vote adds to the board's existing rule that children's sections of the library cannot have any materials that are sexually explicit or deemed inappropriate. Board Chair John Wall says the ruling is an effort to put families and parents back in control of content their kids can and can't see. Hayden says her concern goes farther than what can and can't be in the youth section in the library, that it affects other things like education.
They are being pressured to remove not just books about transgender people. The latest code changes prior to this about sexual content have meant that sex education materials have had to be removed from young adult sections.
During the public hearing last month, those opposing the proposal brought up similar concerns as Hayden, saying the language in the ruling is too broad and that there is too much gray area. The new rule is set to take place in 2026. From Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
We reached out to Huntsville-Madison County Public Library, who did not wish to comment. We also reached out to Moms for Liberty, but have not heard back yet at this time. I'm joined now by Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell. So tell me, what are libraries having to do because of this ruling?
So basically how it's going to work is any books or material that mentions being transgender, gender ideology, or mentions there being more than 2 biological genders, they will either A, have to be relocated to the adult section in the library, or B, removed from the library entirely.
And I assume, this is a very touchy subject. What have advocacy groups been saying?
So the one that I spoke to today is very concerned as it relates to, 1, censoring material, and then also as it relates to the criteria for these things. And when it comes to education, how are those books being looked at as well?
And is there a time frame for this ruling of when they have to move the books?
Yes, so it will take effect in 2026.
2026.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Logan.
Of course.
Let's take a look at the weather right outside the station. Cloudy, as I suspected, and windy too, it looks like. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, the weekend is around the corner. How is the weather looking?
Yeah, as far as getting rid of the cloud cover, the weekend's going to bring a lot of improvement to the Tennessee Valley. Kind of excited about that. But before we can get to that improvement as we head into the weekend, we're going to talk about a cold front that's going to push its way through the area late tonight and then early tomorrow morning. Many of us are dry this evening, but we are talking about a little bit of rain across northeast Alabama, Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties. Now, a lot of this activity is relatively light in nature, just a little bit of light, annoying rain across northeast Alabama. And then the rest of us may be dealing with a little bit of a light mist, but That's really going to be about it. Our primary focus for the rest of the evening is going to be this area of low pressure and a cold front extending down from that area of low pressure. Nothing associated with that cold front just yet, but as that cold front continues to drop its way to the south over the next couple of hours and eventually push its way through the Tennessee Valley, a line of showers and thunderstorms is going to begin to develop. Now, that line of showers and thunderstorms could be on the stronger end of the spectrum as it makes its way into the Tennessee Valley. We'll talk about it in much greater detail and then its overall impacts on the weekend coming up here in just a little bit.
Athens police say 2 tractor trailers crashed yesterday evening on I-65 northbound, about a mile north of the Huntsville-Browns Ferry Road exit. The crash, which happened around 8:30 p.m., sent one truck into the median and sparked a fire from a ruptured diesel tank. Emergency crews from multiple agencies quickly extinguished the flames, and that truck's driver was taken to a local hospital and expected to be okay. The second truck remained in the slow lane, and its driver was unharmed. 2 people arrested today at a residence on Catego Floret Road near Somerville. Deputies with the Morgan County Sheriff's Office say they found Lavon Williams of Tony hiding under a mattress. He was taken into custody on a probation revocation warrant for first-degree sexual abuse and also faces charges of resisting arrest and obstruction of governmental operations. Ashley Tatum of Somerville was also arrested on resisting arrest charges and has multiple outstanding warrants with other agencies. A man was arrested by U.S. Marshal in connection with the September shooting on Lodge Road, according to Huntsville police. Authorities say the shooting happened around 3 a.m. on September 15th on the 1300 block of Lodge Road. The victim survived. Investigators with HPD's Violent Crimes Unit identified Douglas Fletcher as a suspect, saying he got into a dispute with the victim before shooting them. Fletcher was located by U.S. Marshals Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force, was taken to Madison County Jail yesterday on an aggravated assault involving a gun charge. Prosecutors in Limestone County are taking the next steps to revoke the probation of a Killen man previously convicted of impersonating a police officer. A petition filed by District Attorney Brian C.T. Jones earlier this month seeks to reinstate a suspended prison sentence for Robert Sean Bowman, pictured here. The petition alleges Bowman violated the conditions of his probation when he allegedly threatened Deshler High School earlier this month. As first reported by FOX54, Bowman was arrested in Colbert County for allegedly making terrorist threats as part of his protest about the handling of August Borden's case. A judge has set a revocation hearing for December 4th. Bowman faces up to 2 years in jail and still be tried for the alleged threats at Deshler. 3 people are behind bars after a Decatur police investigation uncovered illegal drugs, multiple firearms, and a large sum of cash. The Vice Narcotics Unit carried out the operation yesterday on the 1400 block of First Avenue Southwest, arresting Edwin Ramirez, Rolando Vargas, and Ana Perez. Officers discovered a significant quantity of opiate pills, several firearms, including one modified into a fully automatic weapon, and another reported stolen, as well as vehicles and cash linked to the suspected trafficking operation. All 3 suspects are in the Morgan County Jail, with Ramirez facing charges for converting a pistol into a machine gun. A mother and daughter are behind bars in connection with nearly $39,000 stolen from a local business. According to Florence police, Kimberlyn Reyes transferred $38,000 from Los Hermanos in Florence to her personal account beginning in late October. Investigators say her mother, Claudia Reyes, helped by distracting other employees during the transfer. Both women are charged with first-degree theft of property through wire fraud. They are held at the Lauderdale County Detention Center on a $30,000 bond. An Indiana judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by a quarry development company against 2 historic Limestone County churches, a pastor, and a local farm. The company Elephants R Us sought $1.6 million, claiming the defendants interfered with a lease agreement. The court dismissed the farm case with prejudice and ruled that the Indiana court lacks jurisdiction over the Alabama churches and pastor. Attorneys and the community leaders called the dismissal a victory for free speech, saying the lawsuit was an attempt to intimidate the churches. You may remember back in September, an equine veterinarian working across multiple states, Dr. Gregory Ford, was arrested on charges out of Lauderdale County for an alleged sexual abuse of a child. Part of an ongoing federal investigation, those original charges have expanded to include sex trafficking. Ford worked at barrel racing events across the Southeast. Originally based out of Texas, he was arrested in Florida in September. Since then, more victims have come forward from states like Illinois, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Florida. An attorney representing the victims, Spencer Coven, describes the situation in a Fox 54 exclusive interview.
Dr. Ford had ingratiated himself and gotten close to the families, such that he was a very close friends of all of the parents and grandparents of some of these children. So as a result, it's like trusting an uncle or a relative. And at the end of the day, this was not a stranger to the families. They just didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. And these young girls were too afraid to report it until it came to a head. Whether or not additional charges will be brought on behalf of other victims remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, all of the charges are very interrelated because Dr. Ford was actually doing this to multiple young girls at the same time and telling the young girls that they were the only ones in his life and that he was in love with them and wanted to marry them and wanted to be with them forever, despite the fact that they were in their teens, early teens, and he was in his 50s.
Coven says because of multiple text messages and voicemails between Ford and the victims, he's confident about a conviction. After the investigation and any criminal prosecution finish up, Coven says he's going to begin a civil lawsuit against Ford and any other responsible organizations. Coming up, Huntsville's making big moves to improve transportation. New buses, a new parking deck, and road work along Wall-Triana Highway could impact your commute. Stay tuned for details. Looking for something fun this weekend? From family crafts and holiday scavengers to book fairs and Santa visits, there's something for everyone. Stay tuned. We've got a Fox 54 traffic impact alert for you this evening. Roadwork is set to start today on Wall-Triana Highway, stretching from Highway 72 to south of Gooch Lane. Officials say contractors will be repaving that section from today until Wednesday, with no work planned over the weekend. Drivers are urged to use caution in work areas and to expect possible delays and lane shifts. The city of Huntsville is moving forward with design work on the second phase of improvements to Old Big Cove Road. It covers a 1.5-mile stretch from Claudia Drive to Taylor Road. The project will add lanes, sidewalks, bike lanes, and streetlights. Work will include preliminary engineering, acquiring right-of-way, utility adjustments, and construction. Funding for the project comes from a nearly $25 million agreement with the Alabama Department of Transportation. The city contributing just under $5 million from the Huntsville Area Metropolitan Planning Organization to get the project started. A new parking deck in Mid-City is in the works. The city of Huntsville is planning a new parking deck to support growth in the district and help with crowds at the Orion Amphitheater. Officials approved the contracts this week for engineering and architectural design work. The structure will be 4 stories with 923 spaces and will be owned and operated by the city. Construction is expected to be done in late 2027 or early 2028 after the design work is done. Huntsville is upgrading its public transit system with 6 new hybrid diesel-electric buses. The U.S. Department of Transportation awarded the city nearly $7 million to replace older buses that have reached the end of their service cycle. City leaders say the new hybrids will run cleaner, use less fuel, and cut down on maintenance. The total project cost is about $7.1 million, with Huntsville covering the remaining share. Local businesses are being warned of a scam after a surge in reports of callers impersonating Hartselle Utility employees. The scammers are telling business owners to call 888-462-4884 to make a payment and are threatening immediate service disconnection. Hartselle Utilities says these calls are a scam. They follow a process for overdue accounts, sending the first notice by mail and calling about a week later. Service is never cut off immediately. Officials urge businesses to stay alert and report suspicious activity, and customers with questions should call 256-773-3340. Huntsville Skating in the Park returns. Grab hot chocolate, rent skates, and hit the ice, all for a good cause. More coming up.
As we head into the overnight, we're talking about a cold front that's going to push its way through the Tennessee Valley, bringing the potential for some showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be stronger. We'll discuss it in a few minutes.
Skating in the Park is sliding back into Huntsville for its 14th year, this time on a rink that's 6 feet longer than last season. Today's planned opening was delayed by weather, but when the ice is ready, you can grab hot chocolate, snow cones, and skates right on site. No reservations, just first come, first skate, all in support of one of the museum's biggest fundraisers of the year.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the FOX54 Weather Impact Team.
It doesn't necessarily matter where in the city of Huntsville this video was taken. All that matters is that it was cloudy, and no matter where in the large city of Huntsville you were, it was cloudy today. Happy Friday, Valentina. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Besides the humidity, I had to straighten my hair again twice.
Ah, yes.
But besides that, I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Not bad. Now, you attempted to go to skating in the park.
I did attempt, and they told me the heartbreaking news that it was canceled, and I was so sad.
Now, did they cancel it because of the ugly, misty business that was going on, or because it's, 70 degrees and we're trying to talk about ice?
Well, they have a certain little HVAC thing that keeps it cool, but it was a little flooded, so I think that was their concern.
Ah, okay, yes. Flooding of the ice would, in fact, lead to a cancellation. There's more rain in the forecast. Some of us are talking about a little bit of light rain this evening back across northeast Alabama. They're about the only ones talking about rain. Everybody else is dry. Jackson, DeKalb, down into Marshall counties, those folks talking about a little bit of rain, maybe some more moderate precipitation across Fort Payne, but really, that's about it, and that's about all we're going to see for the next several hours. As we head into the overnight, our focus is going to begin to transition a little bit. There's a cold front back off to the northwest. Now, there's a whole lot of nothing associated with this cold front right now, but as this cold front begins to drop to the east over the next 3 or 4 hours, a line of showers and thunderstorms should begin to develop ahead of that cold front. And those showers and thunderstorms are eventually going to push their way into the Tennessee Valley, and when they do, they could pack a bit of a punch. We are talking about the chance for some stronger, more marginally severe thunderstorms, but the chance overall for any sort of severe weather is incredibly low. Remember that Friday we had in late October where there was a small chance for severe weather? A tornado watch ended up getting issued. Nothing ever happened. That's the type of threat for severe weather we're talking about tonight. The chance is incredibly low, but it's not zero. We are going to get some heavy rain across the Tennessee Valley. We're not going to be talking about any hail. We could get some gusty winds, wind gusts 45 to 50 miles per hour. I think that's going to be a thing across the Tennessee Valley, but severe wind gusts 55, 60 miles per hour, that's not really going to be a thing. Now, we are talking about a cold front in late November. The threat for an isolated tornado is incredibly low. Incredibly low. It's basically zero, but it's not zero. The atmospheric dynamics at play here really just aren't there to support any sort of tornadic development. And if something were to happen, and it's a really big if, it would be a really weak spin up that maybe only survives for a radar scan, maybe 2 at the most, and radar scans come out every 1 or 2 minutes. Here's Futurecast as we head into 10 o'clock tonight. We're dry across the area. Still relatively dry 1 o'clock in the morning, but some showers and thunderstorms are beginning to develop across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin County. That activity continues to push its way to the east to 3 o'clock in the morning. Now we're talking about some storms across the I-65 corridor and up across southern Middle Tennessee. Within these, we could get some pockets of heavier rain, maybe some gusty winds develop across the area. Continues to push to the east 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Now we're dry. Now we're beginning to lose a lot of the cloud cover, and we're actually going to get to enjoy a fair amount of sunshine. Next chance of rain comes as we head into your Tuesday, associated with another cold front. Widespread showers and thunderstorms are going to move into the area. Lingering chance of showers on Wednesday. Does look like we are going to be dry for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Temperatures currently sitting in the mid-60s across the Tennessee Valley, only dropping into the lower 60s. We're only going to move a couple of more degrees as we head into the overnight. And then, yes, we're talking about the likelihood of thunderstorms. 74 Saturday, 67 Sunday, still warm Monday, still warm Tuesday. We get cooler for Thanksgiving and Black Friday, though, with plenty of sunshine. I've got highs each day right around 53 degrees.
Looking for a way to enjoy your weekend? Well, you are in luck. We've got a couple of events for you. Thanks, a Gratitude Palooza takes place at the North Huntsville Library tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Families can create cards, bracelets, bookmarks, and more to give their loved ones this Thanksgiving. The event is free, and you can even enjoy hot apple cider and a sweet treat. Book lovers can get in the Thanksgiving spirit too at the Gobble Gobble Hay Zine and Small Press Fest at Low Mill. The free literacy event market starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow and features comics, zines, bookmaking arts, and more. Guests can even meet with artists, authors, and publishers. Santa has come to town and he'll be at the Harrison Brothers Hardware tomorrow. The big guy will spread Christmas cheer and listen to wish lists from all the kiddos. You don't want to miss out on the Elf on a Shelf scavenger hunt. The event is free and runs from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Of course, if none of these events are your style, go to FOX54.com for a full list of weekend events across the Tennessee Valley.
Sam Shade and the Alabama A&M Bulldogs wrapping up their 2025 campaign with a trip to Houston this weekend. We'll talk to the head coach of the Bulldogs next in sports.
54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
The regular season finale for the 2025 Alabama A&M football team is drawing near. This year, the road ends in Houston, Texas, as the Bulldogs traveling out west to take on Texas Southern, who is 5-5 overall and 4-3 in SWAC play. Looking back at the year for Alabama A&M, the team got off to a great start, beginning the season at 3-1. But injuries, tough close losses, and then 3 blowouts have turned a once promising season into a disappointing one and a 1-6 SWAC record heading into the final game of the year. Still, head coach Sam Shade says he's seen the fundamentals of a strong program being built, and he hopes to retain much of this year's coaching staff for next season.
Some of our position groups, like I said, the injury bug really bit them big time. So, I felt like some of our coaches, weren't quite working with top guys to go against some of the competition that we were going against at times during the season. I will still evaluate, but, for the most part, I don't think this is a season where you could really make an evaluation on a coach and say, well, hey, he just wasn't getting the job done.
The Bulldogs and Texas Southern will go toe-to-toe in H-Town this weekend. Kickoff on Saturday is set for 2 p.m. You can catch the game live via HBCU Go. And that'll do it for Fox 54 Sports. I'm Mo Carter. Let's send it back to the desk.
Coming up tonight at 9, Fox 54 spoke exclusively with Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall on his thoughts about Colorado's lawsuit against the Space Command move to the Rocket City. And an exclusive interview with a family friend of David Barnes, a Huntsville native imprisoned in Russia. And coming up at 9, a judge throws out $1 million lawsuit tied to a quarry dispute in Bellamina. Our Gabe Glassman will have all the details. Austrian daredevil Peter Salzman pulled off a world first in the Canary Islands, soaring in a wingsuit without an engine and using only rising air to stay aloft. For 160 seconds, Salzman glided along a mountain ridge, even gaining altitude, something only birds and gliders could do until now. His secret is a custom foil wing that lets him ride the wind like nature's best flyers. And yes, he stuck the landing.
Yeah, weather's cool, but not cool enough for me to ever want to do that.
I have had dreams of myself flying. I don't know if I'd like to do it in real life.
Have you ever jumped out of a plane, like just skydived?
No, but I want to.
I've always wanted to.
Should we?
We can go do it in Coleman.
Let's go do it.
All right, this just in. Valentina and Jordan are going to go skydiving. Quick look at the radar. Still picking up on a little bit of rain across northeast Alabama, Jackson, DeKalb, down into Marshall counties. Otherwise, we're quiet. Maybe a little bit of the annoying mist that's not picked up on radar hanging out across the area. Otherwise, we'll continue to watch for some stronger storms as we head into the overnight.
Well, thank you for watching. Tune in to Fox 54 News at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.